There is no doubt about it. Babe Ruth was one of the best baseball players of all time. His career stats outstanding. Over 182 WAR, 2,800 plus hits, 714 home runs. But it was his 1927 season that stands out as one of the most remarkable in his career as a New York Yankee. In 1927, Ruth would score 158 runs, 192 hits, 60 home runs, including his 60th home run ball, as you see here. And of course, he had great teammates, but most of us were not around at that time to see Ruth in action. How would he do in the 2023 environment on whichever team that he may play for? Well, you're going to find out. We are going to colorize Babe Ruth. We are going to put him in 2023 because of OOTP 24. We can do that. Yes, Babe Ruth is stuck in the Matrix. He is going to play in the 2023 environment amongst some of the best players of today. 2023, Babe Ruth, welcome. We will find out if he can compare to Ohtani, Harper, Trout. Yes, Babe is up for the task. And if you enjoy this series and you want to play OOTP 24, download the game, use code LAPTOPPOUND24 and save 10% on your purchase. And watch the remainder of the series live on Twitch, where you can participate in the contest predicting how Ruth will do with each of the teams that he will play on. It is time. Let's get Babe in the Matrix. I hope you enjoyed the series. All right, here is the Babe file. We got the Babe file up. We are staying in commissioner mode just because, and everything else stays the same. Then we go down to the free agency. And Babe should be somewhere. It's not a pitcher. Remember, this is the 1927 version. Let's click on him and go to editor. Where is the editor? Did I not click commish mode? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. No, I think I did. Babe. Maybe I need to resize my window a bit. Don't crash. Don't crash, OOTP. Do not crash. There we go. There's the editor. League. Yeah, one day I'm just going to put him in the Florida State League. See if he can break like 200 home runs. Maybe that's a good idea for a YouTube video that I can create. Detroit. And we want to look at it from the Detroit perspective. Seems weird. Weird enough seeing Babe in Colorado, but just seeing him in a Detroit, I don't see him as a Detroit type of player. Hitting third against the lefties and against the righties. All right, I'm going to go close off that form. We do have 32 entries now. So let me go close that off, give you a 10-second warning. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So let's see what you guys think. One of you said he's going to get 60 plus in Detroit. Majority, I think, in between 50 and 59, which is a pretty safe bet. And then with his RBIs, a lot of people between 120 and 149. Pretty split between hits, runs, a lot of you between 100 and 119. And 2/3 of you think that Babe will win the MVP. So this is going to be a real easy contest. If Babe hits 60 or more, we automatically have our winner. If he hits 40 or less, or 49 or less, or 50 to 59, it's going to have to go through a few other questions. So good luck. Babe in Detroit. All right, here we go. Let's get this underway. Always like to take a look at his first game as a member of his new team. So the Detroit Tigers are on the road in Tampa Bay. So let me just let me put up a channel point bet as well. Because why not? We got time. It's the 4th of July. I don't have a 4th of July beverage, but I got coffee. Right, we got a prediction popping up there. Simple question. Game 1 that he is playing, will he hit a home run? He's done it before in his premier game with some other teams. Predict, will Babe hit a home run in game number 1? So while we're waiting for the timer to expire there on your channel points, a lot coming in for the no side. All right, here is the lineup that Babe will be part of. Spencer Torkelson, Zach McKinstry, Babe hitting third, Austin Meadows in the cleanup, Javier Baez, Riley Green, Miguel Cabrera. What is he, like 70 years old right now? This is the 39-year-old Miguel. There we go. Of course, we're playing in the 2023 opening day lineups. So if lineups have changed since April 1st, we're using the April 1st lineups. Ryan Kreidler and Jake Rogers with Matthew Boyd as the pitcher. 30 seconds to get your prediction in whether Babe Ruth will hit a home run in this very first game. All right, the laptop bringing you game 1 coverage here without the OOTP sounds. Babe will be up third in this first inning. We got 3,000 points best bet on yes, 15,000 bet on no. If he does hit a home run, whoever bet yes is going to be in for a big payday because you went against the norm. All right, here we go. Spencer, first at bat. In Tampa Bay, Zach McKinstry. 2 up, 2 down, and here we go. Babe facing the Tampa Bay crowd. Drew Rasmussen on the mound. Here comes the pitch. 1-2 count. And he takes it looking. Babe, you're running way too fast off the field. That is not typically how fast you run. I always like to look at what they give him for a little personality characteristic. Here we go. Babe is a max effort guy and is a thinking man's ball player. He's earned the respect of his teammates. Okay, that's respectable. Let's go to the third inning. And Babe is due up fourth. 1-0 game for Detroit. Leadoff runner is on. Back to the top of the order. Torkelson drives one to deep center field, but not deep enough in the expanse known as Tropicana Field. Zach McKinstry drives one up the middle. Babe will get a plate appearance here as long as there's no double play. He will get back up. Runners on first and third. Here we go. Looking for that first home run of the season. Full count. And he drives one into center field over the head of the center fielder. That's going to drive in a couple runs as Babe chugs his way into second base. And Detroit, only one run. Runner McKinstry stayed at third base. All right, we got a double and we have a strikeout. Let's go to the fifth inning. And Babe is due up second. McKinstry at the plate. Outside pitch, he drives it into left field. That will be easily playable. Babe up. 1 for 2 so far. A strikeout, a double, a 0-1 pitch. And he drives that one into the gap. No, the right fielder gets over in time for the second out. All right, let's go to the seventh inning. Babe due to hit third in the seventh. Probably his last at bat, unless we have a tie game. Drops one in front of the center fielder. That will bring up McKinstry back to the plate. One on, nobody out. He attempts a bunt, unsuccessful. Beeks in for the Rays. Another missed bunt attempt. Count is 2-2. Babe on deck. He drives one to short, and we've got a double play. 2 out, no one on. Babe Ruth is 1 for 3 so far, I believe. A strikeout, a double, maybe only 1 for 2. 2-2 count. Drives one into left field. That is not a home run, but it is going to be a single for the Babe. Add another one to the hit column. Let's go to the ninth inning. We have a 4-3 game. Bottom of the order is up for Detroit. And one away. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Rogers, the catcher, Jake Rogers. He takes one on the outside corner. Spencer Torkelson, 2 away, and he goes down swinging. We head to the bottom of the ninth. We will play it out just to see if Babe gets back up. Can Tampa Bay tie the game up against Lang? And they walk the first batter. Yandy Diaz at the plate. He drives one into center field. Runner goes for third and is up standing. Uh-oh. We want a tie game because we want Babe to come back up. Strikeout. One away, runners on the corner for Luke Raley. And ball gets away and runner comes home from third. We do have a tie game and a potential Babe at bat. So those that bet yes on the homer, you may have another chance as long as there's not a walk-off. Oh, and there's an intentional walk. Runners on first and second. One away, Josh Lowe or Lau at the plate. Oh, that is going to be the game, I believe, folks. Yes, a walk-off home run by Josh Lau. And the Rays come back from a 4-3 deficit to beat Babe Ruth and the Detroit Tigers. Boo. Who trying the ball? Yeah, I know you're a big Detroit fan, I guess. Babe Ruth went 2 for 4, a single, a double, an RBI, but no home run. All right, let me pay out the winner there. No, Babe did not hit a home run in his first game. So congratulations on whoever bet the no side. All right, let's advance a month. Surely he's going to get at least one home run. Since he's in the AL this week, all his stats will be on the left side of the screen. We're looking for those Babe stats, not seeing many. Adam Duvall, 5 home runs. Jimenez, 6 home runs. And I don't see a Babe anywhere on the AL leaderboard. Having a slow April, I guess. All right, we get close to the end of the month. Vlad Guerrero Jr., he sims well in the 2023 quick start, live start. He always tends to do well. 27 RBIs for Vlad Guerrero Jr. I'm wondering, did Babe get injured? Because I don't see him anywhere there. We will find out shortly. If Babe can't take Detroit to the playoffs, no one can. Let's take a look at the standings first of all. Again, if for some reason the game crashes, we start from the beginning. Detroit 12 and 16. Yep. Kind of where I expected them to be. And Babe is not injured. Good news. But he's only got 4 home runs, guys. He's projected to hit 23. Like, seriously. The worst start to Babe in this series so far. 4 home runs in Detroit. What's going on? What is going on? 16 RBIs, 24 walks, 23 strikeouts. He does have a 307 average. Let's take a look on the leaderboard if he pops up anywhere for the combined. Leading the league in on-base percentage, leading the league in walks, which usually is someone else, 24 walks, and that's it. Just 2 categories. Well, let's quickly go on to the next month. Let's go to the beginning of June. Watching that left-hand side of the column, still leading an on-base plus slugging. Always like to check if he has a few stolen bases too. Again, thanks for tuning in. Congrats to the winners of the Lap Bounty Tournament. We'll do another one on Thursday with Charles, so get there early because it will fill up quickly. Thursday, the Future Legends 2 series. How many meta cards will come out on Thursday? I'm not big on prospects in baseball. I don't know who's still left that hasn't been released yet. I'm sure some of the top 50 are still out there. Oh, look at, we see a lot of Babes now, leading in league average, leading in on base, leading in batter war. Looks like he came back for a strong month of May. Let's take a look at the standings. In the AL Central, Detroit is dead last. But are they worse than Oakland? That's what I want to know. Worst team in the league in this file is the Cincinnati Reds and the Washington Nationals. Well, that's not really matrixy. That makes sense. Oakland, Detroit, no, Boston. Whoa. Mr. Audit, I hope you're out setting off fireworks somewhere because Boston is 14 and 41. Talk about reverse splits, synchronicity of numbers, 14, 41. I don't think I've ever seen them sim this bad. Whew. Their 2023 lineup is not on fire. How's the Babe doing? He is on fire. He is on a hot streak. He went from 4 home runs to 15. So I'd say he had a good month of May. Let's take a look at the batting. The game log. 2 home runs against Seattle. Other than that, just singles along the way. So currently, Babe Ruth is projected to hit 44 home runs, but maybe he can have another good couple of months. So while we're going to sim up to the All-Star game. There we go. And as we do that, one of my favorite things to do on stream is this day in baseball history. As a former teacher, I like to educate you guys. Usually you guys educate me, but I like to educate you guys on some baseball history. On this day, July 4th, 1899, 124 years ago, John McGraw, you know him, you love him, from OOTP 23, one of the late card releases last year. I don't think we've got a 100 perfect of him yet this year. He would become the first major leaguer to have the stolen base cycle. He steals second base, he steals third base, and then he steals home plate, all in the same inning of the same game. The 26-year-old Orioles third baseman accomplished the feat in the fourth inning of his 5-4 victory over the Boston Bean Eaters in Union Park. So happy 4th of July, the first player in history to have the cycle in stolen bases. Next up, remember this card last year? Jack Doyle, kind of a funny card because he can catch, he can play first base. I think in OOTP 22, it was like a meta bronze card. He was really good in OOTP 22. Well, on this day, 123 years ago, in the third inning of the second game, Jack Doyle, this is in the old Wild West, Jack Doyle would slug, hit an umpire. When's the last time Bryce Harper hit an umpire? Don't answer that question because maybe he did, and I'm just not aware. But he would slug umpire Robert Emsley after being called out on a steal attempt. Fans are going to jump from the stands as the two would get into it, and eventually the teams would separate to two players. The police would chase the fans back into the stands and then arrest Doyle and take him to York Street Station. He'll be given a fine for assault, and the Reds are going to lose the second part of their doubleheader. So back when baseball was more than just hitting a ball, but you had some really, really big tempers back in the game back then. So Jack Doyle, his 73 rated mission card. A slugger. They need a fighting category. Next up, 123 years ago, on July 4th, approximately 1,000 people in the crowd of 10,000 would celebrate Independence Day by firing their guns into the air. Talk about the olden days. You go to a baseball game, you bring your guns, and you shoot them up into the air. In a 12-inning game, which the Orphans would shoot down the Philadelphia team 5-4. Happy 4th of July. I don't know if that was in Philadelphia. No, that was in Chicago, the west side of Chicago. Next up, on this day, 119 years ago, Jack Chesbro, who has a perfect 100 card right from release, Jack Chesbro was in the game. Spitballer would win his 14th in a row, a record that would stand until Walter Johnson would win 16 in a row 8 years later. The A's would lose both, and the Highlanders would sweep that 3-game series. So Jack Chesbro, with his spitball, 14 wins in a row. Next up, on this day in 1905, fantastic pitchers. Jesse Tannehill, his card from this year. Rube Waddell, his last year card, which was a tournament edition meta card. Good lefty. Well, apparently, in a doubleheader between Boston and Philadelphia, the A's would take the morning game 5-2. They'd use Eddie Plank, Coakley, and Rube Waddell on the mound to beat Jesse Tannehill. But in the afternoon contest, Waddell would best Cy Young in a 20-inning marathon. 20 innings, 2 games, same day. Rube Waddell, would pitch in both games. That's back in the dead ball era where, yeah, you would only need 1 or 2 starters and they could pitch until their arm fell off. Young would lose on an error, hit Batman, and 2 hits. And Cy Young, he must have really good control in the game because he would not walk anyone in the 20 innings. Could you imagine a starter today pitching 20 innings? No, neither can I. All 20 innings, and he doesn't walk anyone. Philadelphia's catcher, I'm not going to pronounce that name, worked 28 innings in 1 day, which is still a major league record. So the catcher, 28 innings. Fortunately, he probably didn't have to catch the last inning because they probably didn't have to play defense then. Wow. What a stat. 28 innings. Next up, in 1905, not a major league game, but the Charleston Seagulls, which was part of the South Atlantic League. Bugs Raymond, there's a name for you, Bugs. We need a Bugs card. He would pitch the morning and afternoon games of a doubleheader, and get this, both no-hitters. I don't know if that's ever been done before. Mind you, this wasn't the major leagues, but still highly competitive baseball. Consecutive back-to-back no-hitters on the same day. Bugs Raymond, hope we get a card of you at some point. Next up, on this day in history, July 4th, 1908, Hooks Wiltse. There he is, his 84 tournament edition card. He would pitch a 10-inning no-hitter for the Giants over the Phillies, but he would lose his perfect game. Get this, here again, that Dave Stieb moment. 9 innings, 9th inning, 2 outs, and he hits George McQuillan on a 1-2 count. 1-2 count. He hits the batter because he was ticked. He was ticked off because on the previous pitch, he thought it should be a strike. And the umpire called it a ball. So his temper got a hold of him. And he hit the guy. Art Devlin scored the winner in the 10th after singling off McQuillan and coming around on 2 errors. And there ends the perfect game for Hooks Wiltse. Hooks, if you didn't do that, maybe that 84 is a 90. Maybe you spoiled your diamond card in perfect team. Yes. Next up, on this day in 1916, I hope we get a genuinely meta Shoeless Joe Jackson card. Shoeless Joe, whether or not, he willingly participated in the scandal, yes, he was part of it. Did he knowingly know what he was doing? Again, he was uneducated. He loved the game of baseball. Great athlete. He got wrapped up in the scandal with the Sox. And I hope we get a truly genuine meta card. He deserves it. He always has a card that's kind of splitty and plays better against the righties. But look at this. In 1916, on July 4th, he would go 3 for 5 against the Athletics. And up until that point, .524 batting average. .524 batting average in 104, I guess, plate appearances or 104 at-bats. Yes, please, OOTP, give us that dominant shoeless Joe Jackson card. Two more before we get back to the Babe. On this day in 1934, Casey Stengel would come out to the mound to remove Boom Boom Beck. Stengel has a card. Beck has a 72 iron. But this is the funny part. This is why I love researching this, because I laughed out loud when I read this. And I'm going to laugh again. So Stengel comes out to remove Boom Boom Beck. And Beck turns and, out of anger, fires the ball at the tin wall in right field. For some reason, Dodgers outfielder Hack Wilson wasn't paying attention. So he thought the ball was hit there against the wall. He goes and grabs it. He hurls the ball into the infield, a strike to second base to prevent the imaginary runner from advancing. Maybe he partied a little bit too much the night before. So Hack Wilson, we love you, but we know there's a reason why you don't have good outfield ratings in the game. Maybe the intelligence IQ should be part of the game there. So Boom Boom Beck got a little frustrated for being taken out of the game. And the last one, let's get a little bit of the Negro League talk here. One of the best tandems in baseball history, Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, on this day, July 4th, 1934, in a Negro League game, Satchel Paige would pitch a 4-0 no-hitter against the Crawfords, against the Grays, or for the Crawfords, against the Grays in Pittsburgh. Only one walk and an error, spoiling his attempt at a perfect game. He would strike out 17. Josh Gibson is his catcher, the only time in Negro League history in which a battery in a no-hitter are both members of the Hall of Fame. Something that has never happened in the major leagues. Legend claims that Paige then drove to Chicago to shut out the Chicago American Giants 1-0 in 12 innings, giving him 2 shutouts in 2 different cities on the same day, although some dispute the claim. However, his no-hitter is on file. So there you go. There is this day in baseball history, July 4th, throughout the different years up until the 1930s. And Babe Ruth, again, we are playing his 1927 version where he had 60 home runs, and he's trying to break that with Detroit. All right, we will be back after the ad to continue on about Babe in Detroit. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll finish up the series soon. Day in baseball history. Always fun to kind of research and present to you guys some of the things that have happened in baseball history. And the fact that Satchel Paige, most likely had 2 shutouts in 2 different cities in the same day is quite the accomplishment. And Gibson and Paige definitely going down as one of the best battery set of teammates that the game has seen. So congratulations to Paige on this day, July 4th, 1934. All right, we are at the All-Star break in the Babe in the Matrix series in Detroit. Let's find out if Babe was voted in. He is not a starter. The American League gave the outfield to Springer, gave it to Alvarez, and gave it to Aaron Judge, with Alex Bregman as the starting DH. Did Babe get on there, though? Yes, he did. Babe is in the lineup. We are not going to watch the whole game. Let's go ahead to the 7th inning just to see if he gets an at-bat. And here we go. We are in Citi Field, American League up 3-2. Babe Ruth, I don't think has appeared yet. Let's take a look. Babe. Nope. One and the only Babe Ruth has not appeared in the game. So let's go half inning to the bottom of the seventh. And let's just play out the bottom. Let's see if the coach puts him in. Bobby Witt Jr. up at the plate. He is pinch hitting. 3-2 lead for the AL, and Witt will ground out to short, one away. George Springer at the plate. He flies out to center field, and Jimenez will strike out. No Babe yet. Apparently they don't like the Detroit Babe. Let's go to the ninth inning. And Babe Ruth did. Does look like Babe Ruth did get in the game in the DH role. Let's see if he got an at bat here. All the way to the bottom. Bottom of the eighth, Babe Ruth came into the game and he had a flyout. All right. And the screen has gone black. Here we are. We are back. Well, with the AL leading after the in the top of the ninth inning, the NL would come back to win the game with 3 runs in the 10th inning, 6-3. Babe would have 1 at bat, I believe. Let me double check. No, he would have 2 at bats, but no hits in his All-Star appearance. Again, a shame that he didn't get voted in. So at the All-Star break, Babe Ruth is currently hitting .339. On-base percentage of .459, OPS of 1.15. Amazing. He's got 28 home runs. He is on pace for 50. So that brings back in the people that guessed that he would hit between 50 and 59. He's just on the edge of that 50 home run mark. So let's sim ahead to the end of this month. Yeah, I just read your comment there, Cobra, about firing off their guns back in a 1900 game. 1,000 of the fans firing off their pistols. What a waste of ammo, huh? At a baseball game. Again, I am the one and only streamer, it looks like, of OOTP right now, so I am not in a huge rush to get off, although my voice says otherwise. We'll finish off the series. We'll find out who our winner is. We'll simulate the playoffs. We'll see if Babe wins the MVP. We'll open a few packs because, hey, I want a John Tudor card or a Fergie or a Ryan Sandberg. All right, here we go. Detroit at the end of July, 45 and 61. They are not making the playoffs. Babe Ruth projected to hit 46. He currently has 30 home runs, so it looks like he may be under that 50 mark. Let's go and take a look at the stats combined. So Pete Alonso leading the league with 45 home runs. He's running away with it. Who is this Hall guy? Darrick Hall, second in home runs in the league with 38. Now there is a matrix moment. What is his home runs like? Well, this looks like is he a rookie? What the heck up was with Darrick Hall? 38 home runs. That doesn't seem normal. Aaron Judge with 38, Buxton with 37. Babe is leading a few categories, a few of the kind of the hitting categories there, leading in WAR over Adley, 0.1 of a lead in WAR, and of course the OPS plus the weighted OBA, definitely leading those like he usually does. So, Babe, we are going to take you to the end of September. Oh, to the end of August. Let's just go up to the beginning of September, just in case it's close on that home run mark. And while we're waiting for it to sim, here is a few Babe facts. Did you know that Babe Ruth was within 4 hits of hitting 400? The most he's hit for average is 393 back in 1923, 4 hits away from hitting that magical 400 mark. I know he and Ty Cobb, very competitive, and he came that close to being a 400 hitter. Look how disappointed Babe looks. Also, did you know that Babe was known for carousing? Did you know he was known for his insubordination? Well, yeah. He even received a $5,000 fine for arriving late at the ballpark. And eventually he apologized in front of the team and he would be reinstated about a week later with the Yankees. So back in 1925, Babe was known to get into a little bit of trouble from time to time. Still mourning that he didn't get that opening day dinger. Oh, it's a 50-50 chance with Babe. You never know. Also, here is a myth. I don't know if anyone knows much more about this, but there's the story of a child that was in the hospital, and child fell off a horse. So a friend of his father brought him autographed baseballs from the Yankees and a promise that Ruth would hit a home run. And not only did Ruth hit one home run, but he would hit 4 home runs in the series against the Cardinals and then would visit the boy in the hospital. The boy eventually recovered from his injuries. That sequence of events gave birth to a myth in which Ruth visited a dying boy in the hospital and promised he would have hit a home run for him that afternoon, which led to the boy's recovery. So, yeah, probably a little bit sensationalized about the whole situation, but a nice story nonetheless. Oh, here's a quiz for you if you didn't read that already. What is the fatal flaw that Babe Ruth made in a ninth inning of a game 7 in a World Series? What did Babe Ruth do that wasn't Babe Ruth like in game 7, ninth inning of a World Series that they were behind 1 run on? You guys are sharp. Yeah. Babe Ruth in 1926 drew a 2-out walk. They're behind 3-2, and he attempts to steal second base. Yeah. I don't know who was up at the plate. It would be interesting to find out who was at bat, because if it's a guy like Lou, why would you do that? It remains the only time in World Series history that the final out was recorded on a caught stealing. So there you go, babe. You're famous for many different things. Caught stealing game 7. I'm sure we heard about that. And here's another trivia question. Babe Ruth held the record for most home runs in a World Series until who beat it? The record was 15 home runs in a World Series. Babe held that for a long time. Who would eventually beat that record? And yeah, I don't know if there was a bad hitter on the team. So whoever was at bat, I'm sure they didn't appreciate Babe running into the last out. And Cubs fan Steve, you got it. It was Mickey Mantle. Good stuff. So Ruth held the record of 15 World Series home runs, and then Mickey Mantle broke it in 1964. Babe Ruth, pretty good batting line there. 326, 467, 744 in 10 fall classics. And the final Babe fact for today: Babe Ruth would hit 3 home runs in Game 4 of that year's World Series, a feat he duplicated against the Cardinals 2 years later in Game 4. That record has been tied 3 times since: Reggie Jackson, Pujols, and Sandoval, but never broken. Ruth is the only man to have hit 3 home runs in any postseason game twice. So there you go. Babe Ruth, of course, known for his home runs. Well, let's find out where the Tigers are in September. And then we'll sim out to the end of the season. If OOTP lets me. Come on. Where are you, OOTP? There you are. Where did it go? All right. Here we go. We are September 1st. Babe Ruth is currently hitting, still on fire, 53 projected home runs. He has 44 right now. 44. Well. Let me do something quick here. Got to see who's in the running. All right, here is our spreadsheet. So, D King, if you're going to win this, Babe Ruth needs to go on a tear in September. He needs to just hit lights out for you to win this. He's got 44 home runs now. He needs at least 16. Not impossible, but improbable. Right now, again, he's projected to hit 53. So if that holds up, we got a bunch of people here in the running, including IBDB, Sundown, Who Trying to Ball, Mr. Black, Audio World, lots of you that are in contention. And then we got a few that say he's not going to quite reach that mark. So Sean and Boiler Nemo and Polymer and Statmonger, you're all hoping for a bad September for the Babe. So projected to hit 53. He's at 44 so far. Let's sim ahead a couple weeks. Let's go to September 14th. And we'll check out his home runs at that point. Oh, thanks, Boiler Nemo. Thanks for looking that up. Stan Musial was at bat. Yeah, you got to wonder if he was told to run or if it was his own choice. I'm betting he did that on his own because I can't see any manager telling Babe to try and steal second base. Oh, Bob Musial. Oh, not Stan. Bob. Right. I forgot there were 2 of them. All right. So here we go. Detroit, we know, is out of the playoffs. Let's just see if they're officially eliminated. They must be. With the 61 win, they must be eliminated. Let's go to the record. AL Central. Oh no, they're not. They're not out yet. 64. They could sweep. They could go on a whatever this works out to be 2015 game 15-0. Babe's still leading WAR at 8.8. Wow. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. But the moment of truth in the middle of September, Babe has 51 home runs. So that officially, D King, you're not out of this yet, buddy. He has had a hot couple weeks in September. Look at this. One against the Yankees, another one against the Yankees, and one against Chicago, second against Chicago, and 3 so far, including 2 in a 17-3 win against Cincinnati. Woo-hoo, this is going to be close. So now, what seemed to be impossible, he's projected to hit 57. go. Bob and Stan were not related. Okay. See, you guys teach me something new about baseball history too. Still looking at the spreadsheet. Well, there we go. Thank you. Hey, we're over the 4 hour mark here. Here you go. Babe, 51 home runs, projected to hit 57. Let's take a look at who Detroit has to play. The LA, well, they play both LA teams. Then they get to play Oakland, Kansas City, Cleveland. All right, so let's just go one more week here. Let's go back to Babe. Put him on the screen. Never tell me the odds. And let's sim a week. Leading in average, he's leading the AL in home runs now with 52. Still projected to hit 57. We're on September 18th. Let's go one more week. Still at 52 home runs. That hasn't changed. Oh, I think he's probably been 53, 54. Okay, I think it's probably not going to happen, but let's take a look at the schedule. Babe Ruth has 6 games left. 3 against Kansas City. He could have multiple home runs there. And then 3 against Cleveland. He currently has 54. He needs 6 to get up to that next category. Well, since we've got time, why not? Let's go to the schedule, game by game. First game against Kansas City, a 10-1 victory. Ooh, a 10-1. Let's check the box score. Home runs by Rogers, and that is it. Babe Ruth does not hit a home run against Kansas City in a 10-1 victory. Game number 2. A 4-1 victory. Babe does not get a home run. Baez gets the home run for Detroit. Not looking good. Game 3. Can he pop a couple off? 2-1 victory. And Green. So 3 different home run hitters in the last 3 games. None of them have been Babe Ruth. 0 for 4. He does not want to break his record, apparently. So, with 3 games against the Guardians left, he's in a 4-game home runless streak, and he's at 54. So, yeah. But if anyone can hit 6 home runs in 3 games, I guess it's the Babe. Let's go back to the schedule. Game 1 against Cleveland is a 8-5 victory. 8-5. There we go. Babe hits his 55th, but only 1 home run as Green hits the second one. Next game against Cleveland. And mind you, Detroit is on a 5-game winning streak here. Not going to get them into the playoffs, but they're finishing the season well. Game 2 against Cleveland as the game saves because it's at the end of the month. Lose the game 5-4, and home runs. No home runs for Detroit. So that should seal it once and for all. With 1 game left, Babe Ruth is stuck at 55, which is really good, but Not going to get to that 60 mark. Let's see how the season plays out. A 10-0 victory. Okay. I should put up a poll. What are the odds that Babe gets 5 home runs? I don't think so, because he'd need to go 5 for 5 with 5 home runs. Not going to happen. Does he hit one? I don't know. Does he hit a home run in this last game? He does not. McKinstry hits a home run, and Maton would get a home run, but nothing for Babe. So let me write these stats down, because we're going to have to go to a couple questions here. 55 home runs, 127 RBIs, 134 runs, and hits. Where are you? Hits 173. Tiebreakers if needed. His WAR was 8.9 and his strikeouts 134. All right. 55. Well, before we go back to the spreadsheet, of course, let's as we always do, let's go to the playoffs. Let's sim the wild card round. And let's take a look. Eight teams remaining. We'll sim one more. And then an ad break is going to kick in. So while the ad break is on, I'm going to put up another point bet here with the final 4 teams, where you can bet which team will take home the World Series. There are your 4 finalists. The ad's going to kick in. We will be back in a minute and a half. I'll give you a couple minutes to place your wagers. Will it be the Angels, the Yankees, the Padres, or the Mets? Be back soon. All right, we are back for the last segment here. Place your bets. Place your bets. Who will win the World Series with Babe in the Matrix from his Detroit appearance? Will it be the New York Yankees, the Angels, the Mets, or the San Diego Padres? Will we have some synchronicity? Mr. Black is a big Padres fan from San Diego. Will his Padres take it for his guest appearance today? So about 30 more seconds to place your wagers on that, and then we'll sim it out. Angels, highest number for the Angels so far. We've got the Padres with a little bit of love, and one of you put 10, I think, as a joke on the Yankees. 10 points on the Yankees to win it. All right, looks like we are done with the poll. Let's go to the next round. Disappointed we're not getting Babe in the playoffs much in these series. He's only made it a couple times, and I don't think he's made it past the division series. Looks like San Diego is going to take the NL. Yankees and Angels tied up at 3. The Angels and the Mets are going to come back against the Padres, winning 3 in a row. Woo! Mets. What happened there? LA would win the last 2 against the Yankees, and the Mets win 3-1, 9-4, and 3-2. Game 7, a walk-off in the 10th inning for the Mets over the Padres. All right, World Series time. For those of you that bet Mets or Angels, might have a few channel points coming. Game 1 goes to the Mets. Game 2, Tied up at 1 as the Angels win 6-5. Scherzer going against Ohtani in Game 3. What a matchup. And Game 3 will go to the Angels 7-6 as they score 2 to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Now this would be looks like a great World Series. Angels win 7-3. They're up 3 games to 1 as they go to Los Angeles. Can they wrap it up at home? And we'll have to wait as we're at the end of the month here. So we don't know if we got a World Series champ or do we have a Game 6. Are we heading back to New York? Were the Angels going to be able to celebrate on home field? New York wins Game 5, 1-0 in the 9th inning. 5 hits for the Mets, 3 for the Angels. All right, we go back to New York, Game 6. Verlander against Detmers. And the Mets take it 3-2. Scoring 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. Again, a low hitting affair. 4 hits for the Angels, 5 hits for the Mets. We go to Game 7. Ohtani against Scherzer. Wow. Ohtani 1-1, Scherzer 3-0. How can you not, when you have 2 of the premier pitchers in the game, how can you not go at least to the 7th inning and check this out? Don't sim a lot of modern baseball, but we got to check this one out. Game 7. This would set ratings records on TV. Could you imagine? Because you got the big markets of Los Angeles and New York in a Game 7 with Scherzer and Ohtani on the mound. This might even break some viewing records. Let's go to inning 7. 4-1 LA. Still 4-1. We're in New York. The fans are not riding. Brandon Nemo at the plate, bottom of the 8th. Can they get anything going? Not there. Ben Joyce on the mound. Probably in a setup role. 2 away. Pete Alonso. Can you get something going? Only 2 hits for the Mets in this Game 7. Angels are dominating. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 9th. 6-1 now. It is over. Ben Joyce stays in the game. Why not? It's not a save situation for a new pitcher. 1 away. Next up, Francisco Lindor. He's going to pop one out there. He's going to get a rally going with 1 away. Mark Canha drives one right to the center fielder. And with 2 out, it's up to Vogelbach to keep things going. He grounds one out. That is going to do it. And your Babe in the Matrix Detroit edition World Series champs are the Los Angeles Angels. Scherzer takes the loss, 4 innings, giving up 4 earned runs. Ohtani would go 6 innings, only giving up the 2 hits, 1 earned run, and he will take the deciding game. Way to go. Big payday for Ohtani coming up. All right, let me do the payout here for those that picked the Angels. %49 of the points went to the Angels. There you go. Congratulations. Okay, we're going to sim up to the final thing we need to do here. That's the most valuable player. Just in case it comes into play, we got to find out if Babe is the AL MVP. I'm thinking it's going to be close. 55 home runs, 3rd in batting average, 3rd in runs batted in. Only guy that might be ahead of him is Duvall Yeah, I think it's got to be Babe. Babe's got to win this. Did not see the series MVP. Sorry about that, boiled egg. I didn't scroll down to see that. And I don't know if you can check that after the fact. I'll see. I'll see if we can check that. All right, the awards have almost finished up simming here. Here we go. The MVP was Mike Trout. Mike Trout, your MVP of the 2023 World Series. The Angels sim pretty good in this game. All right, time to look at our awards. Starting in the National League, your National League award winners for 2023, your MVP is Austin Riley, who hit 342 for Atlanta with a 7 WAR. Max Scherzer, his 4th Cy Young Award. Tovar from Colorado with 29 home runs, 7.1 WAR, and a 341 average for a rookie. Fantastic. And Vesia is the reliever of the year with the Los Angeles Dodgers, picking up. How many saves did he have? 47 saves with the Dodgers. Whew. Not Eric Gagne, but still pretty good. And for the AL, moment of truth, Babe Ruth is the MVP for the Detroit Tigers. 67% of you, 2/3 of you said he would be. Garrett Cole, your Cy Young winner with New York Yankees. Gunnar Henderson, Rookie of the Year with 5.6 WAR. And Munoz with Seattle, 44 saves, including a 10-6 record. Way to go, Seattle, getting some love. Got to check out Seattle. He had 44 saves, and Seattle had 86 wins. Just missing out on the playoffs. Cleveland beat them out by 1 game to get into the playoffs. All right, I think we are done there. Let me just save this up and I'll leave it up. Thank you guys. A record stream for me, 5 hours and 16 minutes. And for those of you that endured this marathon with me, thank you so much. I need a nap. I need something. Happy 4th of July with the American shirt. Sing your favorite American songs. God bless America. Oh, say, can you see? Yes, with the dawn's early light. Oh, Canada. I know that one much better. Have a good day. Wonderful rest of your 4th of July. See you Thursday. Make sure you show up Thursday. Future Legends 2. See you next episode. Lap out.